$3 billion. That's how much richer Donald Trump got in less than 12 months. Not over a career, not over a decade, 1 year. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly where every single dollar of it came from. Because most of it didn't come from the way you think. Let's go back to the moment everything changed. January 2025. Trump walks back into the White House for a second time. His net worth at that moment, $4.3 billion. Respectable, normal billionaire numbers, real estate, golf courses, a brand built over 50 years. But something was about to happen that had never happened to any American president before. By September of that same year, just 8 months later, Forbes put his net worth at $7.3 billion. He jumped 118 spots on the Forbes 400 list. In 1 year. Foreign Policy Journal. And here's the part that should stop you cold. It wasn't real estate driving the surge, it wasn't golf courses, it was crypto. Foreign Policy Journal, a venture called World Liberty Financial, tied directly to the Trump family, had quietly launched just weeks after the 2024 election. Within 2 years, it generated over $1.4 billion. More money than his entire real estate empire, built over 5 decades, had ever made him. Foreign Policy Journal. But that's not even the wildest part. Days before his inauguration, a meme coin launched, trading under his own name. And at its peak, that single digital coin made up the majority of his entire net worth swing. Think about that. The President of the United States profiting personally from a crypto coin, bearing his own face, while his own administration was about to write the rules for that exact industry. Nobody had ever seen anything like it, and it was only the beginning. 3 months into his term, something landed on American soil that triggered a legal scramble inside the White House itself. A Boeing 747, worth roughly $400 million. A personal gift from the royal family of Qatar, intended to become the new Air Force One. Wikipedia. It was so unusual that the Attorney General herself had to step in and rule on whether accepting it was even legal. Her answer? Only if it technically went to the Department of Defense first, then quietly transferred to Trump's own presidential library the moment he left office. Wikipedia, a $400 million plane, from a foreign government to a sitting president. And while that story was unfolding in Washington, on the other side of the world, a different deal was closing in total silence. January 2026. The Trump family office announces a $7 billion real estate project in Saudi Arabia, a hotel, a golf course, luxury homes in one of the most historic cities in the region. Yahoo! When reporters asked Trump directly about his involvement, his answer was simple. I have nothing to do with the family business. Yahoo! The deal closed anyway. $7 billion, right under his name. Now here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Back home, the legal walls that had been closing in on Trump for years, they started disappearing, one by one. A $454 million fraud judgment against him. The one proving he'd inflated his property values for years to secure better loans, got overturned on appeal. The court called the fine excessive. Yahoo! He was even preparing a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS itself, before reportedly agreeing to drop it in exchange for a fund that would compensate his political allies instead. Yahoo! Every obstacle gone, every legal threat resolved, every quarter richer than the last. By the winter of 2026, the final number was $6.5 billion. Crypto holdings alone, now valued at over $2 billion. Resorts and clubs bringing in another $1.5 billion. Yahoo! Every president before him stepped into office and stepped away from their business. The wall went up. The conflict of interest disappeared. This time, the wall never went up. The deals didn't slow down because he became the most powerful man on earth. They accelerated because of it. So ask yourself this question and really sit with it for a second. What happens when the most powerful job in the world becomes the most profitable year of a man's entire life? In 2026, for the first time in American history, we don't have to wonder. We can watch it happen, in real time, on a public chart. And once you see the numbers, you'll never look at the next 4 years the same way again.